Good morning everyone. I welcome you all for the course Concrete Technology CE 8404. Today we are going to see about aggregate and water used for concreting. The concrete usually consists of gravel, sand, water, cement and then air. In that, aggregate alone occupies about 65 to 80% of the concrete volume. And aggregates are the inert materials floating in the cement paste matrix for the concrete or flow strength. In case of high strength, they will contribute to the strength of the concrete. The characteristics of the aggregate has an impact on the performance of the fresh and hardened properties of the concrete. Why we use aggregate? It reduces the cost of the concrete. Usually, aggregate cost about 1/4 to 1/8 of the cement price. It reduces the thermal cracking and shrinkages. Usage of cement in the concrete produces rise in the temperature of the concrete, and also it produces shrinkages during drying process. Usage of aggregate will helps in reducing the thermal cracks and shrinkage caused by the cement paste. In the proportioning of the aggregates or materials used for concreting, high aggregate is usually desirable because it reduces the cost of the concrete. It imparts unit weight to the concrete. Aggregate classification. Aggregate are classified based on size, specific gravities, availabilities, shape and then textures. Based on shape, they are classified as fine aggregate and coarse aggregate. The aggregate whose size is less than 4.75, they are called as fine aggregate. More than 4.75, they are called as coarse aggregate. Example of the fine aggregate is sand and crushed stones and manufactured sands now we are using now. Whereas coarse aggregate, they are gravels and crushed stones. Generally, fine aggregate occupy about 35 to 50% mass or volume of the total aggregate used for the concreting. Based on specific gravity, they are classified as normal weight aggregate, lightweight aggregate and then heavyweight aggregate. The aggregate will produce a normal weight of aggregate ranging from 2200 to 2400 kg per meter cube are known as normal weight aggregate. The aggregate which produces the lightweight concrete of about 1350 to 1850 kg per meter cube of density are called as lightweight aggregate. Example of some aggregate are shale, clay, slate and then slag. The usually normal weight aggregates are the sand, gravels and crushed stones we are using for the construction. Lightweight aggregates are shale, slate and then it consists of porous structure which makes the density lighter. The next one is heavyweight aggregate. Aggregate which produces the high dense concrete up to 6000 to 400 kg per meter cube are called as heavyweight aggregate. Example are barite, hematite, iron. They are used for concreting of the radiation shielding. Based on their availability, they are classified as natural and crushed aggregate. Natural aggregate are aggregate which are available naturally in the seashores, deserts, river source, windblown sands. They are usually round in nature. Crushed aggregate are aggregate which are obtained by quarrying of the rocks and crushing of those bigger rocks. Based on the shape, they are classified as round aggregate, flaky aggregate, crushed aggregate. The shape plays an important role in the workability of the aggregates. Usually, they are classified as rounded, irregular, angular, and flaky. Based on texture, they are classified as glassy, smooth, granular, and crystalline. Surface texture is measured of which depends upon the degree to which the particles are polished or smooth or rough. Surface texture depends upon the hardness, grain size, pore structure, and the structure of the rocks. First one is next the physical properties of aggregate. Grading. Grading is the particle size distribution of the aggregate, which is determined by the sieve analysis. Usually, as per IS 2386 Part 1, fine aggregate consists of 6 standard sieve sets with an opening ranging from 150 micron to 4.75 mm. Coarse aggregate consists of 5 sieve sets with opening from 4.75 mm micron to 80 mm. The gradations include uniform size, continuous grading, BNC. Uniform size means aggregate made up of same sized aggregate, they are called as uniform sized aggregate. Continuous grading, it contains all sizes of aggregate in equal proportion. The figure shows the uniform size and then continuous grading. Graph graded aggregates, which consist of particular size of the material is removed, which result in gap graded aggregating. Next one is no fines aggregate. No fines means the fines, that is lesser size aggregates are removed. Physical properties of aggregate. First one is grading. Grading is the particle size distribution of the aggregate, which is determined by the sieve analysis using the wired mesh with square openings. As per IS 2386 Part 1, fine aggregate consists of 6 number of standard sieves with opening ranging from 150 microns to 4.75 mm microns, whereas the coarse aggregate has 5 standard sieve sets which opening from 4.75 mm microns to 80 mm microns. This is the setups used for sieve analysis, in which the sieves are arranged in the decreasing order of their sizes from the top, with the larger sieves at the top, smaller sieves at the bottom. Grain size distribution for the concrete mixtures that will produces the dense concrete mixtures. To ensure that the voids between the larger particle are filled with the medium particle, then the voids produced by the medium particle should be filled by the still lowest particles, and then lowest voids are filled by the small amount of fines. So, in order to produce a dense concrete, the uniform grading of aggregate is very important. These are the grading zones. As per IS code 2386, the aggregates, fine aggregates are zoned as 4 zones: zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, and then zone 4. Zone 1 consists of coarser can, and zone 4 consists of very fine grains. Based on the values, we will be producing or calculating the amount of cement required for making concrete. For the coarse aggregate, the gradings are provided here. The coarse aggregate are designated as 40 mm, 20 mm, 60 mm aggregate. For that, the percentage of passing are given here. For normal 40 mm nominal sizes, the percentage of materials are given here. Percentage of materials to be passed are given here. Next one is fineness modulus. The result of the sieve analysis are expressed in fineness modulus. It is obtained by adding the sum of cumulative percentage of mass retained under each of the specific sieve set and divided by 100. The fineness modulus ranges from the fine sands from 2.2 to 2.6. For coarse sand, it is 2.9 to 3.2. The sand having a fineness modulus of more than 3.2 will be unsuitable for making a satisfactory concrete. This is the formula of the fineness modulus, that is cumulative percentage retained under specification, summation of cumulative percentage of material retained under specification. Flakiness index of an aggregate is percentage by weight of the particle in which whose least dimension, that is thickness, is less than 3/5 of the mean dimension. The test is not applicable to the size less than 3.6 mm. The aggregate are called as flaky aggregate when their thickness is less than 3/5 of their mean dimension. The flakiness index is taken as the total weight of the material passing through various thickness gauge expressed as the percentage of the total weight of the sample taken. This table shows the dimensions of the thickness of the length gauges. This is an example of the thickness gauge. When an aggregate is passing through these slot holes, they are called as flaky aggregates. The next one is elongation index. Elongation index on aggregate is the percentage by weight of the particle which is greater than 1.8 times of their mean dimension. It is also not applicable for the sizes less than 6.3 mm. Thus, the flakiness index is the total weight of material retained on the various length gauges expressed as a percentage of total weight of sample gauged. Usually, in concrete, it should not exceed 10 to 15%. When an aggregate is failed to pass through, that is retained on this shapes, they are called as elongated aggregates. This is the instrument used for measuring the elongation index. Next one is specific gravity. The specific gravity is determined as per IS 2386. It consists of three measurements, that is A is an weight of the saturated aggregate in water. The aggregate is dry, taken and immersed in water for 24 hours. After 24 hours, the aggregate is taken out and the weight is noted, that is weight of the saturated aggregate in water. Then the aggregate is air drained for a few minutes until it comes to surface saturated condition. Then it is noted as B2. After that, aggregate is oven dried in oven for 24 hours. Then the weight is noted, it is taken as C. From the weight of A, B, C, we can calculate the specific gravity, apparent specific gravity and the water absorption of the aggregate. The condition of the water is shown here. The first one is oven drain condition, where the surface is devoid of waters. Air drain condition, we can see that some amount of water is present in the aggregates. Saturated surface dry means the water taken out of taken after 24 hours immersed in water. These are instruments we are used for calculating a specific gravity. The next one is bulk density. Usually there are two types of bulk density, loose bulk density and then dense bulk density. It is that it is expressed as the weight of aggregate to the capacity of the container in liters. The cylinder is filled about 1/3 of aggregate and then tampered with 25 strokes. Similarly, bulk density. Bulk density is defined as the mass of aggregate to the volume of the container. It plays an important role in the measurements during the mixed proportion of the concretes. The procedure for the bulk density is that aggregate is filled to 1/3 of the cylinder and then they are tamped with 25 strokes by tamping rod of diameter 16 mm, length 6 cm long. Similarly, remaining layers are filled using successive 25 mm strokes. Then the weight of the aggregate is taken. Then the bulk density is calculated, which is nothing but the weight of aggregate to the capacity of the container in liters. The next one is crushing value. Aggregate crushing value gives an measurement of aggregate to crushing under gradually applied compressive strength. Crushing value is a measure of resistance of an aggregate to crushing under gradually applied loads. The apparatus used for the crushings are compression testing machine and then test sampler and then plunger. The aggregate is filled in the test sampler in a successive layer with 25 mm blows for each layer. Then they are loaded uniformly to a total load of 400 kN in 10 minutes. Then the load is released, the whole aggregate is crushed and then material is removed from the cylinder and sieved using 2.36 mm sieve. The crushing value is expressed as the weight of fraction of aggregate passing through 2.36 mm sieve to the total weight of aggregate taken in the mold. For standards, it should not be more than 45% for the aggregate used for wearing workers and 30% for wearing surfaces such as runway, road and air pavements. This is the picture showing the test mold with plunger. Impact value. It is a mechanical property of an aggregate. Impact value gives the relative measurement of aggregate to sudden loads or shocks. In this method, the sample is filled in the cylindrical cup fixed on the base of the machine. A hammer about 14 kg is raised to a height of 380 mm and then released. The test sample is subjected to a 15 such blows. Each blow should be delivered at an interval not less than 1 mm. This shows the figure of impact testing machine in which the weight of the hammer is 45 mm. It is raised to a height of about 380 cm. The impact value is expressed as weight of fraction passing through 2.36 mm sieve after crushing to weight of oven-dried samples. It should not be more than 45% for the aggregate used for concreting and 30% for the aggregate used for wearing works. The next one is abrasion. The abrasion can be done by Devil's abrasion testing machine or Los Angeles abrasion testing machine. The operation is used for measuring the resistance of the aggregate to wearing. The test samples and operation testers are placed in a machine which rotates about 20 to 33 revolutions per minute. For grading, this shows the figure shows the machine. Based upon the size of the aggregate, the revolutions are fixed. And then based on this grading, the number of balls and the weight of each balls are fixed. At the end of the specified complete rotations, the material is discharged from the machine and then it is sieved by IS sieve size of 1.18 mm sieve. Then the operation value is expressed as the percentage of the aggregate weighted passing through 1.8 mm sieve to total weight. Water is an important ingredient of the concrete as it actively participates in the chemical reaction with cement. The water reacts with the cement which develops an binding as well as the strength property of the concrete. Hence, the quantity and quality of water is required a special care. The carbonate and bicarbonates of the sodium and potassium affect the setting time of the cement. The carbonate usually accelerate the setting, whereas the bicarbonate may accelerate or retard the setting. The higher concentration of this salt will also reduces the concrete strength. So, it is specified that the salts should not exceed 1000 ppm for setting time and 28 days strength should be carried. Bridged water contain chloride and sulfates. When the chlorides exceed 10,000 ppm and sulfate exceeds 3000 ppm, the water became unsatisfactory. Then the salts of the magnesium, tin, zinc, copper, lead may also reduces the strength of the concrete. Sodium iodide, potassium sulfate and sodium borate reduces the initial strength of the concrete to a greater degree. The another salt which also determines the strength of the concrete is the sulfides. Silt and the suspended particles are undesirable. They will interfere with the setting, hardening and bonding characteristics of the cement. So the turbidity of 2000 has been fixed. It should not exceed. The table shows the tolerance concentration of the various impurities in the mixing water. Sodium and potassium bicarbonates 1000, chlorides 10,000 ppm, sulfuric anhydride 3000 ppm, calcium chloride 2% by the weight of the cement used, sodium iodide, sodium sulfate, sodium arsenate sulfate should be present very low. Sodium hydroxide, it should be present about 0.5% by the weight of the cement. Salt and impurities should not exceed 2000 ppm. The dissolved salt content in the water should not exceed 15,000 ppm. The organic materials present 3000 ppm. pH of the water shall not be less than 6. The other permissible limits for the solids are organic solids 200, inorganic 3000, sulfate 400, chlorides 2000, suspended solids 2000, which are prescribed in the IS 456 of 2000. Usage of seawater for mixing concrete. The seawater has about 78% of the sodium iodide and 15% is chloride and sulfate of the magnesium. The usage of seawater for concreting, it will accelerate the early strength of the concrete, but it reduces the 28-day strength of the concrete by about 10 to 15%. If the seawater cannot be avoided for the reinforced concrete, then it can be used for the plain concrete, and we have to provide it with the adequate cover of at least about 75 mm